Welcome. In this activity, you'll be showing teams of young people how to create acoustic panels and where to place them in a room to improve the quality of sound. This is a specialist D&T activity, and we recommend that you have a support of a specialist during the activity or to get training from one and practice in advance. It's a 40-minute activity, and before you begin, you should prepare the following equipment for each team. A art canvas 40 by 40 by 4 centimeters, convoluted acoustic foam 40 by 40 by 3 centimeters, paper or newspaper backing, 2 picture hangers, scissors or craft knife, a hammer, a handheld mirror, a Nerf gun, a speaker or sound source, strong sticky tape, protective eyewear, a cutting board and tape measure, or a ruler. As with all activities, you should prepare a suitable risk assessment, and for this activity you're recommended to keep the hammer and craft knives at a supervised station and provide support as needed. You'll need to make sure the young people are careful with the hammers to avoid hitting their thumb. They should only use the Nerf gun for its intended purpose. Protective eyewear should be worn throughout the activity. Once all that is completed and prepared, you can start the activity. Let's begin. To begin with, ask the young people to think about how sound bounces off walls. You can illustrate this by asking them to think about how their voices echo in a tunnel and compare it to the way their voices sound in a movie theatre. Explain that a movie theatre is lined with sound-absorbing panels and give them time to think about the purpose of these. Once they've done that, you should explain why this is done, how they are placed to have dramatic effect, how high-frequency ringing is killed off and the bass is no longer muddy or booming. All those sound waves that would have bounced off the walls are mostly absorbed by the panels, which means that the primary wave from the speakers is what you hear most. You can demonstrate this by using the Nerf gun. Fire it against the wall to illustrate how sound hits the walls and is reflected in different directions. It's possible to find the suitable locations using a simple trick involving a mirror, an assistant, and an area which will act as a source of the sound. It's time for the demonstration. Ask your helper to sit in the area of a room where the viewer or listener will be sitting and place the source of the sound accordingly. Next, you will need to stand somewhere along the wall between the audience member and the source of the sound. Now slide the mirror along the wall until the audience member can see the speaker in the reflection. This is where the absorption panel should be placed. Carefully place a marker to show the spot. At this point, you should show the teams how to make their sound panels by handing out the step-by-step guides. I will now demonstrate how to make an acoustic panel. Step 1. Measure the inside of the frame, as this is where the absorbent material will be placed. Step 2. Cut the acoustic foam if needed to allow it to fit into the frame. Step 3. Place the foam inside the canvas with a bumpy side facing the front of the canvas. Use offcuts to fill any gaps. Step 4. Cut off a piece of sturdy paper or newspaper large enough to cover the back of the panel, but not hang over the edges. Use strong tape such as duct tape or packing tape to hold in place. Now hammer a picture hook at the top of the frame. Step 5. Ask your group member to act as the audience while another member takes the hand mirror and stands along the wall between the sound of the music and the audience. Step 6. Slide the mirror along the wall until the audience member sees the speaker. This is where the sound waves from the speaker will bounce from the walls and muddle up the sound for the viewer. Place your acoustic panel here to improve their movie experience. At the end of the activity, you can let the young people find the best locations to try out their own movie theatre with their collection of panels. You can explore this activity further by asking them to create different panels to absorb different types of sounds, altering the thickness of the panels to do this effectively.